Crypto winter turns into crypto ice age. But is this crypto apocalypse? Hello there, how are you doing? Hope that you are doing well. Now, if you're operating in the cryptocurrency space, chances are you are not doing particularly well. The last few weeks have been a bit of a roller coaster. I was actually waiting for all of this to blow over so I could do a video explaining my thoughts on this, but it doesn't look like it's going to go away anytime soon. Now, if you're familiar with what's been happening, you will know that FTX is in deep trouble. So a few weeks ago, and it does feel like it was ages ago, but it was literally just a few weeks ago, there were rumors that FTX, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, was in trouble. It was having some liquidity issues. Then Binance, one of the other large crypto exchanges, said they would essentially bail it out. Then it all went wrong. Binance gave a statement saying there were some concerns, some issues with FTX's finances, and the entire house of cards collapsed. Essentially, FTX has gone into insolvency, filed for Chapter 11, which means all sorts of problems in terms of the way that cryptocurrency is regarded. Maybe not for its future, but we'll talk about in a moment, but certainly how it's regarded. Now, for those who don't understand, you might want to watch my previous videos or just do a bit of research. A cryptocurrency, you probably already know, is a tokenized method of trading things of value. Every token is worth a set value. You trade them between each other. They were intended as a currency. You'll be able to buy things. They were essentially an alternative to fiat currency run by states. They had no borders. They were decentralized. It was all very, very exciting, and I think it still is. Crypto exchanges, think of them as sort of bureau de changes, or in some cases banks, although I'm wary of that analogy, for cryptocurrency. So you can exchange one cryptocurrency into another, or into fiat currency, or fiat currency into crypto. And a lot of people keep their cryptocurrencies within the exchanges, essentially in hot wallets, rather than taking them out to their own cold wallet, which would be infinitely safer. And that, in many ways, is where we have a bit of a problem. Now, there have been lots of cryptocurrency exchanges all over the world over the last few years, but there are some giants. You've got Crypto.com, you've got Binance, but you've got FTX, run by a guy called Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, he used to be based in Hong Kong, but when China decided it was cracking down on crypto and wasn't very pleased with crypto, essentially banning it, he decided to move his entire operations over to the Bahamas, where I believe he currently is. Now, FTX was very much seen as the white knight of crypto exchanges. It was the one who really favored the little guy, sort of stood up for the industry, and kind of you felt like he could do no wrong. He was almost an evangelical figure, I suppose, in some ways, Sam Bankman-Fried. He was the person who would always say the right things, had great publicity. You felt like he wouldn't run off with all of your money, that essentially FTX was one of the leading and the safest exchanges. It was also the one that used to guarantee exchanges when they collapsed and try and bail them out, operating really as the spokesperson for the crypto industry in some ways. Now, when Binance's founder and holder said there were some issues within FTX, the entire thing collapsed incredibly quickly. FTX falling into insolvency is probably the biggest disaster to befall the cryptocurrency market industry, and a real kick in the face for those who've been really investing in it. And if you go back the last few years, think about what sort of things have been going on in the crypto sphere. A year ago at least, they were actually go back to the Super Bowl, which was the beginning of this year. You had huge celebrities advertising how cryptocurrency was the future, presumably for massive, massive fees. You essentially had the Staples Center be renamed thanks to Crypto.com. It felt like cryptocurrency was very much the future, and people were investing in it. It went from being a platform where you would essentially trade currency, where you would buy goods, use it as a method of actually currency itself, as money, where it became an investment tool, and lots of people were saying you need to get in quick, you need to get in now, this is how you're going to make money. Someone once described to me as the biggest redistribution of wealth ever to happen in our lifetime, which may be correct in some ways, but perhaps not the way they thought. But even here in Hong Kong, we had trams saying there are only a finite number of bitcoins, get in now before it's too late or miss out. And I was pretty cynical. I'm a lawyer, so I'm generally a pretty cynical sort of person. I'm also terrible with money, so I'm not going to see anything as a good investment, invest in it and actually work out. So I'm not one of those people who put loads of money into crypto. But watching it collapse, watching FTX in particular collapse, means that lots of people are going to lose a lot of money. Now, FTX's company structure, I'll put it up so you can see it, was revealed by the Financial Times, I think, came out with the story, but it's everywhere. And it is the least opaque structure I've seen for some times. And I've seen some Chinese investments, some Chinese companies who structure their business in such a way it's almost impossible to find out who's in charge and where the money's gone. There's been news stories, but we don't know if this is true or not, that essentially Sam Bankman-Fried was using FTX as his personal fiefdom, the way that he would essentially, as if it was his own business. And it's thrown into concern, this belief, this worry, that essentially you have the tech bros, the guys who were running cryptocurrency businesses, who were the main figure, someone who was in charge, very much similar to, I suppose, you got Mark Zuckerberg at Meta, at Facebook, Elon Musk at Tesla, and now admittedly at Twitter, and that's going really well, as of course, as too. But that they are concerned that they were great, but then it's immediate concern that actually they have too much power, they're running their organizations as if there's no control, and ultimately it will crash. And this possibly is what's happened with FTX. I don't know whether there was any ill intent. I don't know if anyone meant something to go wrong. It feels like it was just things going wrong all at the same time, which immediately brought down one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. But the problem is lots of people are losing lots and lots of money. I've spoken to people who said, oh, do you know, we're going to be able to get our investment back? Will we get our money back? And my immediate answer is, well, you're going to join the queue with all of the other creditors, and it could take years to sort out. Think what happened when something like Lehman Brothers or Enron collapsed. It took absolutely, some of the issues that still haven't been sorted out today. There is no way that the FTX story will be over for at least another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe more years. It will remain in the press, and in that time, people will not get their money back, and cryptocurrency is going to take a hit. Now, it's quite ironic. My last video was about FinTech Week, and just after that, the Hong Kong government put their entire backing behind cryptocurrency, and Hong Kong is a crypto hub. But now here we are later, and crypto is in trouble. Now, the topic of this video was essentially the death, and I was being very provocative, the potential death of crypto. It's commonly said that we were going through a crypto winter. So people who invested lots of money are losing lots of money. Crypto is not booming like it used to, and I don't think it ever will again. Then there was a suggestion that we're in a crypto ice age, but could this be the end? Does the fact that we've now lost one of the biggest exchanges mean that now people believe crypto is not safe in any format and no one will invest in it? I honestly think that might be the case. People are saying, don't worry, it will bounce back. But who is going to trust the existing structure? People perhaps foolish to put their money into crypto exchanges for allow crypto exchange to gain so much power, but there's no other real spokespeople in the industry that could really push it in such a way and give people comfort that they wouldn't lose their money. But seeing that these guys are essentially houses of cards as well that can collapse, we're left wondering who will go next. Will Binance suddenly fall over? One of the other big exchanges suddenly fall over? How is Crypto.com actually doing? We've seen the number of layoffs in the tech sector. Is cryptocurrency itself dead? Now, I don't think it is. And I'm going to explain why, but I think we will never see cryptocurrency look like it does today. And let's go back to nerdy Paul when he first got Steam, when he was playing games and thinking, wow, you can download games off of a gaming platform. And at one point they said, oh, and you can also pay for them with something called Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin back in the day was meant as a medium of exchange. It was meant to be a way, as I said earlier, to essentially not use fiat currency, but make it easier, not using credit cards. You would have a Bitcoin wallet. You'd have some coin that'd be worth something. Values weren't fluctuating quite as much in those days. And you could buy games, you could buy things online. Unfortunately, you could also go to the dark web and buy drugs and all sorts of really awful things too. I sometimes wonder if some of the early Bitcoin millionaires were just sitting on Bitcoin because they were doing something nefarious, but that's a topic perhaps for another video. But it was a medium of exchange. It was meant to make the position with currencies, that states have control of currencies, no longer a thing. The problem is that when a state has control of a currency, it can back that currency and it can bail people out, and it can guarantee you that if something goes wrong with that currency, then hopefully, and certainly not always as history has showed, hopefully you'll be in a position where you won't lose all of your money. If you put money in a cryptocurrency, in a decentralized currency that really answers to no one, the exchanges aren't running the currencies, not in most cases anyway, it's very unusual, but they're not running the currencies. If something goes wrong with the exchange and you lose your money, it's no different to you giving your money to someone who essentially then loses it, gambling, runs away, and you can't find them. Yes, you can go after them in terms of an insolvency claim, but you can't actually get your money back easily. So this means confidence has gone. I don't think certainly for the foreseeable future, and perhaps not until the FTX situation is sorted out. And if there's another blip, then frankly, it's over. I don't think anyone's going to invest in cryptocurrency as a viable investment anymore. Lots of large corporations, lots of investment funds have actually been burned by this, and I don't think that's going to be forgotten very quickly. But it doesn't mean that cryptocurrency in its concept is dead. I think digital currency remains alive. Now, probably the most advanced country in terms of advancing a digital currency is China. Their digital CNY or renminbi, I always call it renminbi because I think it trips off the tongue a bit more easily, which they are still pushing, which is still growing in popularity. But that is not a cryptocurrency in terms of a decentralized currency. It is one that is controlled by the state. Part of the reason that China is putting out this digital currency is, one, to be forward thinking, create something they can then ship around the world, but also control. If the Chinese government decides they don't like you, boom, all your money's gone. Simple as that. If your social credit score goes down, no money for you, you can't go and buy anything. So it's a control method. But other governments are doing the same. So what I think we're going to see, if digital currency, if cryptocurrency, and it could be cryptocurrency, but if digital currency in any medium is going to survive, it will have to be somehow state-backed. No one is going to have faith anymore. Certainly in startup corporations have suddenly made it big, and possibly not in bigger corporations too. If Facebook issues a currency, would you want to essentially move all your money into that? Probably not. If Twitter did, and Elon Musk, would you want to do that? Some people really like Elon Musk, and maybe they would, but probably not. But if it's a government, if it's a state who offers some sort of guarantee, as they do with a real banking account, you may be interested. Now, but this might not be a cryptocurrency per se. It may not be something that exists on a blockchain. It may just be a digital currency. And actually, maybe that's fine. Maybe the whole furore about how important blockchain and cryptocurrency were has been a problem. I would go so far as actually to say that blockchain has suffered because of the popularity of cryptocurrency and the fact it's associated almost entirely with cryptocurrency. You can say crypto to someone and they go, oh, I heard what happened with FTX, we're really worried, we're not going to do anything to do with that. You say blockchain to them, they immediately think the same thing. They think that blockchain is cryptocurrency and vice versa. Of course, blockchain is not. It's a great way of doing a distributed ledger. It's a very secure method until quantum computing destroys it, of storing data. It's a way to create databases that are much safer than traditional databases stored on servers somewhere. So that's not going anywhere. But I think cryptocurrency itself probably is. I'm interested in what you think. I'm interested how many people actually thought that they have to get in now. There was a massive amount of FOMO in terms of cryptocurrency. And FOMO is nothing new in the tech sector, and certainly nothing new in the crypto sector. Thanks, cast your mind back to ICOs where people were spending stupid amounts of money for tokens that frankly were never going to be worth anything because they thought would be some sort of loyalty to some new brand or product or whatever. And most of them, if not all of them, seemed to fail, except the founders managed to make a lot of money. The crypto market was the Wild West. Sadly, people like FTX gave it an air of legitimacy which it really needed and deserved, and to see something like this happen, to see essentially the biggest, most popular, most famous exchange, the one that was the saviour of the industry, then go into bankruptcy, and possibly now concerns be raised over Sam Bankman-Fried and the people involved, means we have a disaster. So I think this could be the end. I think cryptocurrency will not return in the form that we know. I think we will see digital currencies, and we will now see, because lots of people will have lost lots of money. Governments get very annoyed when their citizens get annoyed. Their citizens are annoyed because they've lost lots of money and the government can do nothing. We will see more controls worldwide on how cryptocurrencies are run, how people invest in them, and this, I think, will lead ultimately to state-backed digital currencies becoming a bigger thing, which is kind of exciting from a technology point of view, but it kind of means we're also a bit of an epoch change, an end of an era on how digital currency might work. So let me know what you think. I'll be back fairly soon with my thoughts, my predictions for next year. One of them obviously is that cryptocurrency will look completely different if it survives its current disasters, but also lots of other things going on in the tech sphere. You'll be aware of all the tech layoffs, the fact that technology companies are in some ways shrinking, the whole Twitter, Elon Musk, freedom of speech versus hate speech debate, which I think is more an event discussion rather than one that suits me just speaking into a camera. But lots of things to talk about, so I'll be back before the end of the year. In the meantime, if you've got a lot of money in cryptocurrency, think very carefully about what you're doing with it. It's probably not worth very much at the moment, but at some point it might not be worth anything at all. Who knows? Anyway, don't have nightmares about that one. I'll be back very soon. Take care.